Definitely yuck. All right, definitely yuck. Finally getting some remnants of the hurricane up here in Pennsylvania. Just rain. Just rain. Okay. So we're ready to get back here to do a little bit of stuff here on the Mustang. All right, now I'll give you guys a close-up, show you what the paint looks like. I did buy an air palm sander to try out. All right, now here we go. I got the pad is on. What I ended up getting is, see, I have a foam interface pad. I'm just going to reuse this. Okay. Now I'm going to try out some of this. It worked pretty good for the regular sheets. I bought some small 3-inch sheets that I used 80 and some 320 with my small sander. This pack comes with 600, 1,000, 15, 2,000, and 3,000. So I kind of wanted to take it a step further. So I actually bought this pack, and this one has 3, 4, 5, and 7,000. So the more sanding you do, the less buffing you got to do. So I have some 1,000 grit right now, right here, that I'm going to start out with, and we'll work our way up and see how this is going to work. I think there is, I got a couple sheets. I got 1,500, and then I have 2,000. If you stay kind of close like that, you won't have to sand as long. Like if I would jump from 1,000 right to 2,000, I'd probably have to sand a lot more with the 2,000 to get it to where it needs to be to get the scratches down and out. All right, so hopefully you can see some of that in the reflection of the light. You can see where it's shiny and where it's dull. And basically, we need to make it all dull is what we need to do. And that'll give us a nice smooth paint job all the way across. Well, slow and steady. Makes me wish I had maybe some 800. Would have cut it down just a little bit quicker, but it would have left a lot worse of scratches. So, I mean, I'm just using one of these blocks right here as a squeegee. And we are starting to get pretty smooth right through here. And there's a couple spots like out here, right in this area. So I'm trying to stay back from right here. Let's get this super squeeged. Alright. You can kind of see like right here on this hump, which I got to stay back from. What a mess. Look at this. Sandpaper. Wetness everywhere. Some drips on the seats. I actually got this down to a point where it looks pretty freaking good. We did hit it with, we're down to 3,000 grit. And it's pretty smooth. There was some runs right here. I shaved them off with a razor blade, also down here. Right now I have some of this 5,000. I'm gonna highly say that this stuff for a large job, not the best stuff to use wet, even though it says wet or dry. Some of the paper, here we go. Here's some 1,000. The backing was starting to separate a little bit. You can see this 3,000 was starting to separate here on these edges. There's the 4,000. I just tried that. Like I said, I'm going to 5 now. You can see where it was coming off and we were having blue come through the paper. A lot quicker than what I believe it should. So we're just gonna hit this with some of this 5, and I guess, you know, call it a day. There is a mess. I'll probably spray it down with some water and use up some blue towels and get some of that stuff out of the way. So pretty much all I did was wet down my paper, wet down my surface. Not too fast. There you go. So I'm going to probably use 2 sheets. I'll probably split this in half and then I'll overlap in the middle. And then I'll get both sides. And like I said, I'm just going to do what I can. I'm going to wipe everything down and probably try buffing this stuff out tomorrow. And we'll see what it looks like. Alrighty. You can see it's actually kind of shiny. I got everything cleaned up yesterday. To a point. This stuff does make a big mess. I'm going to do the tops of these doors yet, right here. And then we're going to break out the buffer and shine this stuff up. And hopefully we can start doing some assembly today. So, I don't know about you. I'm ready. Ah, look at that. A little bit of imperfection right there in the paint. I mean, this thing's just going to be what it's going to be. That's how it works. It's going to look better than this. But, yeah, let's get this thing done. All right, well, we got lots of buffing done. Everything got wet sanded down to 5,000. This is my first time trying this. You can still see that there's still some spots that should have come out. Actually went through like right here. I did start buffing on this. I think it's going to be what it's going to be. We still need to do a little bit more buffing. Everything else though, I mean, like our B came out right here. But there is still, honestly, lots of spots that need buffed out. So, I got to work on getting a little bit more buffing done. But we did get to the point where we used our trim black and we got both of our sides painted right here, which looks pretty good. The passenger door, we got it done and painted up last night. Just didn't have enough room to try to want to finagle stuff around with this other door. So I'm going to get this one untaped and then we're going to work on getting it hung. But like I said, we got some more buffing we got to do. So I'm just going to hang a piece of cardboard over top of this to keep the paint or any compound off of getting onto this. And once we get this done, we can actually start putting our seals in, our trim in. We can work on getting our door ready to go on. Get all this stuff reassembled into our door with all of our new stuff. I'll show you guys how to install that. It'll be a separate video. But, you know, it's coming together. This is a long, slow process. It does take a lot of time. So, let's get some more buffing done. Well, all I can say is it's white. I'm no professional. It's not bad, but at this point, we're going to work on starting to get stuff together. If we had more time, honestly, I'd probably, after buffing this, I'd get some wax and grease remover and give this thing a good wipe down and hit it with some 1000 grit paper again and respray it. All right, well, getting ready to try out test fitment here of these replacement windows. All right, now there was a little high edge here, so I kind of was like hitting it with the edge of the razor blade to get it to come up. But what I wanted to show was some of these have this the whole way up, so I just kind of hit it on the side and it kind of cuts through the rubber so that you can actually get the nuts started on them. I'm hoping that I don't have to trim this out. So I got that one This one here looked all right, but I'm going to grab the rest of these and then we'll set this window in and see what it looks like. All right, so I just have the window sitting in here. The passenger side is actually pretty nice. The driver's side is a little bit different. On this side we have scratches in our glass, which there's just a little hole here, I guess, in the rubber, and that's pretty much it for the passenger side. But sits in there pretty decent. I'm going to get this pulled back out. I'm going to get the sealant on, and we're going to get started bolting this in. And I'm going to grab this trim piece here so we can see what this looks like in. And then we're going to be getting ready to install the door, which it's ready to go. There's still a lot more that needs to be cleaned up and put together for that. I tried to fit this up, and I'm trying to figure out why isn't this fitting. Normally you just tuck your back end in and then you push it up and they slide over, and it pops up over this lip, which you could get it to start, but for some reason the bend ended up being down this way. Now I did want to throw this in there. They do include some nice new screws. Now let's go check this out. So it's always good to have something to compare your new aftermarket piece to. I do have these. I did keep every single one. I actually have them. They're down in here in the trunk of this car, or the hatch, whichever you want to call it. Hatch is actually correct. So if we line this up down here with the end and come up here across, you can see where we're at as far as the window. We're actually longer on this piece here than we are the factory ones. So what I'm going to have to do is hold this one in place and try cutting this and see what's going to work best. It just, you would think that these would all be the same and they would all just fit. There you go. There's probably better. Just a smidge long, maybe ½ inch. All right, so it's now the next day. Yesterday we got everything kind of buffed out. We did get the door completely assembled. The window was in. I was going to try to get some more of installing this. This trim piece here ended up being a little bit longer, as you had seen in the last clip. So I trimmed off maybe about that much. It looks like it might have still been a little bit too long, but I got it to force in there. It was nice and tight. I did get everything assembled on the door, the locks in, the door handle. We did the wiring harness. This seal here, quite the challenge to install. All right. This had the new door pins already installed because I put the hinges on. I installed the new wire boot. Actually worked out pretty good, fit pretty nice. What else? Lock cylinders in. So everything is assembled. We did install the door, but we did have some issues. That being that now that I got it kind of aligned, it now does not want to open. So that's got to be an issue that we're going to have to deal with today. But what do you do when you get to a problem and you know you have more stuff that needs taken care of before you run out of time? You go on to taking care of that stuff. So I did have this new seal here. I believe this stuff did not come from them. It actually came from a seller up at, had a friend of mine pick this stuff up, and it came with this, I think, from up around, up in Carlisle at the Ford show. For some reason, this was like pushed in here, and then I found this slit, so I don't know if that was something that was done in packaging, manufacturing, or I'm just not sure. So this is obviously no good, but it is the part that goes right here. Man, for some reason, that looks like it's going to be too long of a length to get in there, or it's going to be really fun to get that on. But that's where that goes. It gets pop riveted on there. I did order new ones, and they are on their way now. So with that being said, I'm going to finish this one out. We are going to be starting on the next door, and that'll be for the next video. Some of these are ending up being too long, so I'm going to try to cut them down in size and try to stay specific to doing certain things. I'll probably get an overall video of everything, and then I'll break it down into each individual piece getting installed. That way we can separate some of this stuff out in case somebody needs to know how to do how to install certain things, whether it's the door handle, the lock actuator, what pop rivet gun to use, etc., etc. So with that being said, I'll see you in the next video, guys.